not going to lie to you guys. I'm still pretty speechless about yesterday, okay? But life moves on. We move on right here on the channel. And so today we're going to talk about 3 things that must be done to avoid what happened yesterday happening again anytime in the future. 3 things. We're going to fill this chart out. You'll see it nice and full at the end of the show. But that's what we're doing today, okay? So thanks so much for joining me. I'm your host, Joey Petersen. And guys, we have had a historic October. And I mean historic. It's been the best month in channel history. So thank you guys for that. Really do appreciate it. So far, we've added 2,415 subs in the month of October. Let's round it out nicely, okay? Let's try to get to 2.5K added in this month. We're 85 away, so if you haven't subscribed yet, we're trying to reach new heights. We're trying to reach our goals, so hit that sub button. Alrighty, let's look at the first thing. I think this team, and I think Coach Harbaugh, and I think Eric DeCosta, and I think anybody else involved in the organization, I think it's time to take a deep look at Zach Orr, okay? Because I'm not going to lie, my patience is running very thin because I took a look. And when you see these numbers, I think you all agree with me. I think you all agree with me before you even saw these numbers. When you look at them on paper or on your screen, it is abysmal, okay? 361.3 yards per game. 25th in the NFL. The 25th best defense when it comes to yards per game in the NFL. And you're doing that? That's how bad your pass defense is. Because you still have the best rush defense in the National Football League. 69.9 yards per game. Number 1. And then your pass defense, like we said already, worst in the NFL by a 20-yard margin. 291.4 yards per game. They're almost throwing for 300 on your ass every single Sunday. And let's look at it. Compared to last year, right? Last year, overall, you were the 6th best defense in the NFL in yards per game. 60 less yards a game through the entirety of the season than through the first 8 games this season. Your rush defense, it's gotten better. 40 yards better. There we go. Golf clap for Zach Orr. Golf. I don't want to give him a big clap. We're going to do golf right now. The pass defense, 100 freaking yards worse. Are you kidding me? 100 yards in an entire, not even a year. It's been what, like 7 months since the end of that season? It's crazy. And so it makes me ask this question, and I want to hear from you guys. Is this the worst defense in franchise history? Okay? Is it the worst defense in franchise history? You might get hit with a YouTube ad break pretty soon. And so to make that time go by faster, this is going to be the pinned comment on today's video. Go ahead and find this on the comment section for me and give me a Y or give me an N. Okay, and I want to cut Zach Orr some slack because you did lose some key players. But at the same time, you look at those guys. David Clowney, he had a great year last year. Patrick Queen, he was solid, tackling machine. And Geno Stone, he was good, right? But it's not like you lose a Geno Stone and you can look at a 100-yard difference in pass yards per game and be like, oh, it's because you lost Geno Stone. Okay, so I do want to cut him a little bit of slack, but I also want to point out the fact that really, you only lost 3 players and you have a 100-yard difference in your pass yards per game. That makes 0 sense to me. And I know we already showed you the number, but the projected yards that this team will give up passing the football this year is 4,953. That is 47 yards away from giving up 5,000 yards on the season. That's unacceptable. Passing touchdowns. Last year, 18. They already have 17 in just 8 games this year. That is unacceptable, okay? And then you look at the QBR, 102. 76 was last year. Completion percentage, 6% higher. Yards per attempt, 2.2 yards higher. It just keeps climbing and climbing and climbing. And because of that, guys, my tone has shifted on Orr. I'm not going to lie to you. It's done a full 180. Beginning of the season, first 4 games, first 5 games, hell, even the first 7 games. What I kept saying was, you know what? Like, he's a new defensive coordinator. It's a new thing for everybody. Let's just give him time. They're going to figure it out. They're going to gel together. It's all going to be okay. He's new at all this. Give him time. Be patient. I'm running out of patience. I'm starting to think he's not the guy anymore. I'm starting to know he's not the guy anymore. Because in critical moments like this, on a 3rd down and 5, this is a play that ended up in a touchdown. That ball is snapped. It is right under the center's butt as I'm speaking right now. And you got Odafe Oweh running across the line of scrimmage. You got Kyle Van Noy 3 yards off the ball. You got everybody else 2 or 3 yards off the ball. It's just, and I know this falls on the players at some point, but at the same time, guys, we got to just look at coaching. This is a huge part in this game. And you're running around while the ball's being snapped. You're not set. You got to look at the guys that are leading these guys, okay? And Zach Orr is that guy. But I don't think he is, if you're catching my drift. All right, coming up, we have 2 more moves to make. 2 more things I think need to be done to just never replicate what we saw yesterday again. But before we get into any of that, if you guys want to see this team get their revenge back on the Denver Broncos on Sunday, I suggest you use our friends over at Game Time because it is the best place for the lowest prices and the best seats guaranteed. And if you want to see them play live and in person at M&T Bank Stadium, then head over to Game Time because that is the sponsor of today's show. It's the only place I go when I'm trying to get tickets to any college football or NFL game. Game Time has a new feature. It's called Game Time Picks, and it makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. The tool highlights the best deal, including great and amazing deals, which are the highest value seats at the time. For some events, Game Time Picks also identifies a super deal, which is the best seat value in the venue. Guys, there's so many things that I love about Game Time, right? I love the last-minute tickets and flash deals. I love the lowest price guaranteed. But bar none, my favorite thing is the fact that you can see the views from your seat before you even buy the ticket. 180-degree panoramic view. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to a sporting event and there's something blocking my view. Well, that doesn't happen with Game Time because you can see what you're going to buy before you even purchase the ticket. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It is game time. All right, number 2, you got to give Lamar some help. You do. And I think that starts on the defensive side of the ball because if you look at what these other quarterbacks have been able to do when they play this team and they play this defense, it has been ridiculous. I'm not going to go over all of the stats because there's a lot up there, but let's just look at their passer rating. Mahomes had his best this year against the Ravens. Gardner Minshew, his second best. Dak Prescott, his second best. Josh Allen, you did well. He had a second worst. But then Joe Burrow, he had his best in 2024 against this team, okay? And then Jaden Daniels, he had his second best passer rating in 2024 against this team. And then Baker Mayfield, he had his 5th best passer rating in 2024 against this team. So, you did well there. And then Jameis Winston. Jameis. 65.9% completion percentage, 334 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a passer rating of 115.3. You know what that's his best since? That's his best since October 3rd. Not of this year, though. Oh, no. Not of this year. That's his best since October 3rd of 2021. That, guys, my friends, is just not acceptable. You got a quarterback like Jameis Winston who goes out there and plays against this defense and does things he hasn't done since 2021. And it's 2024. And you know what? At the end of the day, guys, Lamar can't always be the savior. That's what I'm meaning when I say this, okay? It can't always be in 8's shoes to bring this crappy defense out from the fire. Because if you look at games this year, that he has a sub 102 passer rating. And that's pretty damn high. So you're saying anytime he's just better than almost perfect, This team's 0-3. 0-3. And last year, when he had a passer rating of sub 102, this team was 7-4. They won at almost a, what is that? Is that a 66% clip almost? Yeah, almost a 66% clip. We had a passer rating under 102. And this year, the team's winless, okay? So you got to make a move. And these are the guys I think you should make a move for, okay? Here's 5 possible trade targets that I think the Baltimore Ravens should pursue, okay? We talked about Budda Baker already. Talked about him last Friday. And I think this is a slam dunk no-brainer. I think you go get Budda Baker, okay? But if not him, maybe target Marshawn Lattimore. Although he did injure himself yesterday against the Los Angeles Chargers. Jonathan Jones for the Patriots. He's out there. They should have a fire sale. They suck. No offense to Allie Barefoot. Greg Newsome II. He just locked up some of your wide receivers. Why not get him on this team? And then Azeez Ojulari. I know he's not in the secondary, but I think this team might need another edge rusher. I don't think Yannick Ngakoue is the answer. Sarah Ellison came out with this tweet today from John Harbaugh's press conference. She said Harbaugh was asked about DaCosta pursuing a potential trade at edge rusher or elsewhere. He said, yeah, I think we definitely will because that's what Eric does. I love our guys. I love our roster. I know we lost a game. It's disappointing. It's tough, and we hate it. But that doesn't mean we don't love our players. I'm not asking you to hate your players, John. I'm just asking you to get better players on the roster. Just get some better players on the roster, okay? Because here's my thoughts, and here's my take. This team is in the middle of their Super Bowl window. Hopefully they're not on the tail end of it, but we know that somewhere in this vicinity of where the Ravens are existing currently in 2024, this is a Super Bowl window. And so it's up to Harbs and it's up to DaCosta to go make a move, either by adding someone to this defense or taking away someone in the name of Zach Orr. Okay? Make a move. Don't be stagnant. You could win a Super Bowl this year with what your offense looks like, with who your quarterback is, who your running back is. But you got to change some things to do that. You have to. And I got another question for you. What is your confidence level that the Ravens will make a move before that November 5th deadline? It's coming 8 days away. You got 8 days to make a move. If you feel good about it, give me an 100. If you feel like there's no chance, give me a 1. Scale it for me in the comment section down below. Okay, my last thing of things I think that must be done, and no need, I don't want to pick on Rashad Bateman right now. He's just the picture I chose for this graphic. But it's more than just him. These guys need to do their job better, okay? And that's receivers, that's the secondary, that's everybody, because drop balls were a problem. Eddie Jackson, that first picture, in the end zone, drop ball. Look at that, right in his hands. And then this one, goes up, tries to high point, it goes right through his fingertips. And then you got the wide receivers making mistakes. This one on a 3rd and 14 to Rashad Bateman. You could see the ball right there. Guess what? Hits him right in the face. That's not metaphorical. That's not dramatic. Literally hit him in the face mask. And I hate to bring this one up. I do. But Kyle Hamilton, you can see the ball right there next to his left bicep. And he just drops the interception. Would have been a game sealer. Would have won the game. That's on 2nd and 15 right there. Minute left. He drops it. And then Zay Flowers, this one wasn't talked about a ton. And I don't think it was the most egregious. But that's the first of the 2 Hail Mary attempts at the end of the game. Goes right through the cornerback's hands. It's about a foot away from Zay Flowers. He drops the ball, okay? But it's not just the drops in the secondary and the wide receiver room. But I'm going to call out a guy who I know might be ridiculous to call out because the career he's had, but he just hasn't been good enough this year. Justin Tucker is 2 for 5 on 50-yarders or more this season. Any field goal that's 50 yards or longer, he's 2 for 5. 40 freaking %. You lost the game in Las Vegas because he missed a field goal, and then you couldn't kick a field goal to win it at the end. You had to score a touchdown. Same thing last night, okay? He missed a field goal, so you had to score a touchdown at the very end of the game. I just there's not much more to say. When you lose to a 1-6 team that had yet to score 20 points in a football game, it's because of sloppy mistakes and it's because of stupid penalties. And that was done in an abundance yesterday. Guys all over the field, in the secondary, in the wide receiver core, and even wearing the defensive coordinator's headset were not doing their jobs. And if you want things to change moving forward, it's plain and simple. Do your freaking job. Do you think I get to come in here every single day and just be like, I'm not going to make a YouTube video. I don't really want to. No, because it's my job to do so. Your job is to catch footballs. Your job is to catch interceptions. Your job is to make field goals. It's about damn time they start doing that. Woo, a little heated at the end of Ravens Rundown, but thanks so much for hanging out with us. I'm your host, Joey Petersen. Again, trying to get to 2.5K subs this month of October. If you're not subbed already, please do so. Help us reach our goals. And thanks to everybody who's already hit that sub button.